here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman as we continue our coverage of International Women's Day, turning now to the world-renowned playwright, activist Eve Ensler. Author of the Vagina Monologues, 20 years ago, in 1998, she launched V-Day, an international movement to stop violence against women and girls. Last month, V-Day events were held across the globe on V-Day, Valentine's Day. Eve Ensler has also returned to the stage with a one-woman play called In the Body of the World.
In a wide, open field at Pansy, at City of Joy in Bukavu. It's right after one of those mad Congolese downpours, and the earth is green and moist. The sun's just beginning to come out. The women are there, and they are strong. I have made a promise.
In the Body of the World is based on Eve Ensler's memoir by the same name. It's an exploration of the female body, how to talk about it, how to protect it, how to value it. She shares her deeply intimate, painful relationship with her own body and how it's changed throughout her life, from being raped to struggling with anorexia, from battling uterine cancer to reclaiming her body when dancing with women from the Democratic Republic of Congo and the City of Joy, which she helped establish. Eve Ensler, welcome back to Democracy Now!
Thank you. Good morning. Happy International Women's Day.
Oh, back at you. And I appreciate you coming in today, especially with this very rigorous schedule you have of 1 and 2 plays a day in the Body of the World. It is a true masterpiece, this play.
Thank you so much.
This 80-minute, no interruption, no intermission play, where you take us on a journey from the land of the healthy to the land of the sick, your own personal journey dealing with cancer, and then coming back and recovering in this world of the sick, but also how you're, and so many people are trying to make it healthy.
I think one of the things I've been realizing as I do the play in New York, which has been a really very profound experience, and first of all, how traumatized everyone is right now. Do you know, I can, every night in the audience, I can feel the level of trauma in this period of Trump, trauma in this period of racism, trauma in this period. I mean, we can just go down the list. But I think what's also really been moving to me is people's understanding of the connection between what's happening to our bodies and what's happening to the earth and what's happening to women and what's happening to immigrants and what's happening to refugees, and how all of this is one story, you know, often enacted on the bodies, particularly of women, you know.
So what does this International Women's Day mean to you?
Oh, it's such an incredible day. I mean, I was listening to the show earlier, but I was thinking today really means to me, in the play there's a character named Cindy, who, when I was very sick and I had just gotten my takedown operation where I got rid of my bag, this woman came to help me learn how to fart, right? And she was a volunteer. And I was so moved by this woman who literally was getting up every day to come and help people in this hospital, that I started to think about all the Cindys in this world, the women workers in this world who are often underpaid, unpaid, invisible, quiet, yet they do the major work of the world, whether it's healing the world or maintaining the world or serving the world or keeping the world alive. So I think this Women's Day means to me the incredible teachers striking in West Virginia who are now spreading to Oklahoma, the farm workers, the CIW who are standing up against Wendy's and starting a fast in New York City. Immaculate workers who are fasting on March 11th to the 15th to protest Wendy's. I'm thinking of all the women who have rose, for example, on 1 Billion Rising, the domestic workers in Hong Kong and throughout the United States, the factory workers in Bangladesh. I feel this day is really about the 99%, as she was saying earlier, but also about how we honor women and the work that women do, how we elevate and respect it and value it. Because I think so often the women who are doing the work that holds the world together are invisible, unseen, unacknowledged, and unpaid for the work they're doing.
I wanted to go back to another clip from your play, In the Body of the World, where you talk about being diagnosed with cancer for the first time?
So how'd I get it? Was it tofu? I ate a lot of tofu. Was it failing at marriage? Twice. Was it worry every single day for 56 years that I wasn't good enough? Was it talking too much about vaginas? Was it lawn pesticides? Chernobyl. It traveled far. Was it my father dying slowly and never bothering to say goodbye? Was it bad reviews? Good reviews. Was it being reviewed? Was it sleeping with men who were married? Was it my good friend sleeping with my husband? Was it Tab? Oh my God, I drank so much Tab when I first got sober. Was it Shirley Temple's? Do you remember those red dye #2 cherries on top of the pretend cocktail ordered for me by the handsome, charming, sophisticated, alcoholic country club father? Was it drinking water from plastic bottles? Not being breastfed? Canned chop suey? TV dinners? Turquoise popsicles? Was it that I didn't cry enough or cry too much? Was it too many boundaries? Not enough walls? Did I get this from my family? Was it already decided? Honestly, I waited too long. I have not been a good steward to my body.
Eve Ensler in The Body of the World, a play that she is performing, a one-woman show here in New York until March 25th, right? Until March 25th. So what was it? What do you think? Take us through that journey.
I think it's all of the above, you know. I think when you get diagnosed with cancer, your first thought is, how'd I get it? What I do? What's my connection? And I think the answer is, who knows? I mean, I do think for myself that I know there is a deep connection between trauma and illness and trauma and cancer. And I wouldn't be surprised if in 20 years we're calling cancer trauma. I think what happens when you're traumatized is not only do you leave your body and disassociate from your body, but you stop paying attention to your body. And your immune system is weakened because of that. And as your immune system is weakened, and because you're not treating your body as a body, but often as a machine, as something that's kind of powering, you're powering through to get you to the next place, as your immune system drops, all kinds of things can begin to happen. And cancer cells are really insidious. They appear to be one of your cells, and then they move in, and then they occupy. So I think we have to look at trauma and all the ways trauma manifests, whether it's racism, whether it's sexism, whether it's poverty, whether it's direct violence, whether it's harassment, whether it's simply not being honored for the work you do. There are all forms of trauma, particularly in capitalism and neoliberalism, which is constantly demeaning people, disposing of people, and degrading people. So how do we change that and begin to see people and hold people and respect people and embrace people and turn that around?
And you certainly experienced this firsthand as you went through the medical system. I just want to go back to one more clip from In the Body of the World.
I've not seen Dr. Sean since the chemo. The cancer's been gone almost a year, and as he was one of the Mayo surgeons who saved my life, I am sure he's going to want to share in the glory. I resort to stupid overenthusiasm, and I say some dumb, impulsive things. I feel great. I do. I can tell it's gone. My CA 125 was a 4. Then I evoke my doctors in New York. They are talking about a possible cure. And he says, oh, Eve, it is way too early to be thinking about a cure. If it comes back, it will come back in your vagina. Have you considered radiation? We can radiate your vagina. Radiate my vagina. Radiate my vagina. Do you have any idea who I am? Do you have any sense of irony?
Ensler in the one-woman play In the Body of the World. I'm not sure where to go from that, but so you go from the Mayo Clinic to Sloan Kettering to NYU, New York.
No, to Beth Israel.
To Beth Israel,
yes.
Sorry.
It was really interesting. I mean, the Mayo Clinic is such an amazing place, and it's probably the closest we have to any kind of socialist medicine. I mean, most of the doctors there have capped their salaries, so they actually work collectively as a team for you. They're not competing with each other. But then I got to Sloan Kettering, which was a nightmare experience where I not only didn't feel seen or looked at, literally, but I was treated really terribly. And I eventually went to Beth Israel, where the care was quite wonderful. But I will say, one of the things you come to realize when you're sick is that the care of nurses, for example, is the thing that pretty much keeps you alive. I mean, doctors do their big work and then they disappear, and we're grateful for the work they do. But nurses are there every single minute, every single day, tending to the details, tending to the pain, tending to your annoyingness, tending to everything. And I have to say, it kind of changed I worship and I bow down to nurses today. I understand how fundamental they are. And it is also really funny when I was thinking about, like, the journey of vagina. I was just thinking about how, when at a certain point somebody told me they were going to radiate my vagina, there was just a no. There was just, no, you're not going to radiate my vagina. That's not going to happen. And I'm glad I made that decision, because I think sometimes when we're going through medical processes, people tell us certain things are going to happen or offer them. And I think if we listen sometimes to our instincts, sometimes we need to be talked out of our instincts, but sometimes we know not to do things, or we know not to go to this hospital, or we know not to do this. Sometimes we're really right about those things. And
how many years has it been from your diagnosis?
It's been 8 years.
Now, in the midst of this, you were very involved with the building of the City of Joy in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I was wondering if you can describe your own personal experience of illness and then dealing with these women who so deeply inspired you, who had been raped by militias, by soldiers in Congo, and how you put these two together.
Well, I had been invited to the Democratic Republic of Congo maybe 9 years ago by Dr. Denis Mukwege, a Congolese gynecologist who's an extraordinary man, who was literally...
He's been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Like four times. And he had invited me there after I had interviewed him in New York to support and to see if I could somehow both offer suggestions of how to get their story out, but also to see what we could do together with V-Day. And I think when I went to the Congo, the stories, you know, I've been in many war zones, and I've heard many stories of horrible rape and systematic, you know, rape used as a tactic of war. But the Congo was something else. It was kind of this emergence of colonialism, racism, sexism, and morbid capitalism kind of merged together, and, you know, being really enacted on the bodies of women, you know, through the fight for economic pillaging of minerals. And I think when we started to build, and Christine Schuler-Descriver and I, Mama C and I, and Dr. Mukwege, we spent months really talking to women there about what they wanted. And it really came from their vision of having a place called City of Joy, which could be a sanctuary for healing and a revolutionary center where they could turn their trauma and pain to power. And I think as we were building that, and as we were trying to figure out raising funds for it and defining what the project was and working with the women, and we were deeply in the center of the kind of mess of it, because building in a war zone where there's no roads, where there's no electricity, where there's corrupt building managers, where it was pretty insane. It was that exact moment that I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And so I somehow was going to be dying now in the middle of this huge thing that we had begun, and they were in crisis building this place. But I think it was this really amazing thing that began to happen. I had made a commitment to the women of Congo, and I was not going to die before that commitment was fulfilled. And they had kind of made this commitment to themselves that they would build this place. So I often attribute the women of Congo as saving my life, because it was really fighting for that project and really being in solidarity with them, and thinking of all they had suffered and all the ways that their bodies have been desecrated by rape, whether it's fistulas where they have holes where they'll leak for the rest of their lives, or whether it's this most severe trauma, or whether it's fragments of bullets in their skulls. Or I couldn't even complain about what was going on with me, because I had been witness to, and I had been in knowledge of what had been happening with women in Congo for so many years. And it was really amazing that as I finally was in the last stages of my recovery, and in chemo I was bald and I was not looking well. I was 30 pounds lighter than now. I got back there and the women just looked at me and they were like, oh my God, you are a freak. And they were so loving. What they did is they just started to dance dance. And they really danced. And that was the moment where I really thought of 1 Billion Rising, because I looked at these amazing women who have been through the worst atrocities on the planet, whose bodies in many cases have been, organs have been removed, rearranged due to the horrible rapes. And they were dancing with every strength and intensity of their being. And I thought, my God, if the women of Congo can dance like this, what if the entire world rose up and danced?
You know, as you were performing on V-Day on February 14th, and this all of your friends and family were at the theater at City Center. Your dear international family and friends were here at Democracy Now! And we talked to Christine Schuler-Descriver, who is the head of the City of Joy in the Democratic Republic of Congo, about the conflict in DRC.
The problem is really complicated because it's an economic war. You know, for coltan, that's something we have in our cell phones and in our computer. And I think, like all the countries, you know, like in all the Western countries, they don't want this war to end because they want a mess so they can continue to plunder Congo. And rape was and is still using as terror. If you look at a map and you see where rape are committed, it's all around mines, and we still have lots of guns everywhere and militias. So the goal is for people to leave, you know, their villages so they can multinationals can continue to plunder Congo.
That's Christine Schuler-Descriver describing what's happening in Joseph Kabila's DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. She is the head of the City of Joy, and place that for us as we begin to end the show.
Yes, I mean, she is the head of V-Day, and she's the head of City of Joy, and things are very, very, very dangerous right now in the Congo because Kabila is not leaving. He is now killing off many dissenters. They're verging on some kind of civil war again because he will not have an election. And there are many people who do not want him there anymore because he's so corrupt. And he's, I mean, the country is the most plentiful of resources of any country in Africa, and people are starving all around. And that is all about policies, and it's all about selling off the Congo to people outside the Congo.
And yet you have this city that is run by women.
Indeed, right in the middle of Bukavu. And, you know, it's amazing. We've now graduated 1,038 women who have returned to their communities as leaders. They are transforming their communities in so many different ways. And what's beautiful to see is that even the environment that's around City of Joy, that was once a very poor, it's still poor environment. It's actually a tent city where former soldiers' wives are living. That's been changed because what the energy of City of Joy is beginning to spread out throughout the community and lift people's spirits and take people in and make people aware that they do have power and that women can change their destinies. And it's incredible to see the women rising up. I mean, their rising is this Saturday, but to see women rising up and taking back their rights, becoming people who can do agriculture and fight for their rights in terms of self-defense and fight for leadership. And women are becoming leaders in the Congo, and I think we're going to see very big change in the next few years.
Well, Eve Ensler, I want to thank you for joining us on International Working Women's Day as you go off to work at the theater tonight. We're going to do part 2 of our discussion. We're going to post online at democracynow.org. Eve Ensler, award-winning playwright, author of The Vagina Monologues. She has a new play, In the Body of the World, till March 25th at City Center, Manhattan Theater Club. I'm Amy Goodman. Thanks for joining us.